Hi there, I'm Anya, and welcome to episode 3 of the Peony and Time podcast. I'm so happy you're here. We're just gonna chat about some fun yarn things, maybe some life things, and so I hope that you just grab a cup of coffee, get cozy, and join me. All right. Okay, guys, so I'm so excited to be sitting down and chatting with you today. I have so many things I feel like to chat about, and I'm trying to like weed through my list, just hit the most important ones and not just go on forever. So anyhow, okay, so let's just start off with, I don't know, for kicks, let's do some works in progress updates. Okay, so last time I know that I told you, okay, you guys, I really am very excited about this. So last time I was still working on my Zermatt cardigan from We Are Knitters, and dun dun dun! I totally finished it, and you guys, it's like the cardigan of my dreams. I love it so much. So I seriously, I feel like I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. It just, and I was gonna wear it in the podcast today, and then, but I wanted to be able to like have it out and like really show you the details. So yeah, it's done. No, I feel like it's kind of hard to show on camera, isn't it? Or on this close to the camera. So it's done. It's beautiful. I feel like I was just so proud. It feels like just like an heirloom quality piece. Like I feel like it just it has kind of this vintage feel to it. Like it reminds me of stuff like maybe kind of sweaters from like the 60s or 70s, and but still like classic. I don't know, it's so beautiful, and it feels like such a high quality heirloom piece, and it just made me feel so proud that it was something that I made and I can wear it, and I'm so happy with it. Anyhow, okay, so it's so dense and squishy. It was awesome. The first day I wore it, I hopped in the car to drive somewhere, and it's so nice and thick and cozy that it was kind of like leaning against a pillow, which, hey, that was awesome. Yeah, so it's super cozy, super comfortable. Yeah, I think probably obviously the only downside is that I'm like a little paranoid about like anything spilling on it or touching it, because I'm like, it's like my precious. Okay, one thought. Okay, who else? I know a few of you guys have made this cardigan, and which was super fun to find out after posting on Instagram about it and finding out that we can all like twin together in our cardigans. You guys, let's talk about the collar. So it has this gorgeous shawl collar, and so it's like thicker, like, or it's like longer at the top, and so rolls, kind of folds over there, and then is not as wide at the bottom, which is super cool. I'd never done a shawl collar before, and I love it. It's great. But how did you guys, so in the instructions, it just had you picking up all of these stitches, all just on like your pair of regular needles. It's in the pattern. Other people have done it. Clearly it works. I could not for the life of me figure out how to do that. If you have done this and you made that work, comment below and tell me what you did. I'm just really, it's like a mystery to me. I'm very confused. I could not fit all the stitches on my, like, just one pair of needles. I actually, you're gonna laugh at me. I had an extra pair. I didn't realize that I already had a pair from them that was the same needle size. So I ended up using like all 4 of them to try to just like load all the stitches on there, because like it's pretty thick yarn, so it's kind of like fat stitches. So I used all 4 of them like to load up all the stitches, and that was obviously kind of cumbersome. And then I remembered that I had a pair of circular needles, like really long circular needles. I'm not sure if they were like maybe a 32-inch cord or something on them, and that were in the correct needle size. So I just used those, and that worked like a dream. Just able to pick up all of those on circulars, and then so it was like just way easier, I felt like, for me to use. Also, I love knitting everything on circulars. So yeah, so that made it super easy to do, and then I was able to do it just fine. I adjusted the collar a little bit. It's supposed to be even a little bit wider here. I did, yeah, I just adjusted it a little bit like I talked about in my first podcast. I was kind of running a little slim on yarn because I made it everything longer because I'm really tall. So yeah, so I adjusted it just a little bit, but after like a false start at first, and I had to rip everything out with the collar. Totally got it, and yeah, I'm so happy with how it turned out. I love it so much. I do still need to block it, but I don't know. Who out there is good about blocking? Are you good about blocking your stuff? I feel like I get really excited to just get it done. I was like, whoa, I did really a great job by weaving in all the ends right away, so I'm super impressed with myself. That was tongue-in-cheek. And yeah, but so for some reason blocking feels like just a lot of work. Okay, moving on. All right, so the other project that I was working on was the pair of socks with this yarn that, oh, sorry, I should have looked up what this sock, or tried to find out what the sock brand was. I still don't remember, and I definitely forgot to look. So good news is, totally finished the first sock, so that's awesome. Again, this is using Susan B. Anderson's free pattern. I think it's just called How I Knit My Socks. Highly, highly recommend it. It was so fun to see. I know at least one person tried it after I mentioned it. Amanda, my friend over at the Naptime Knitter. If you haven't seen her beautiful work, you should definitely go look. She also, you guys, I love her Insta stories. She is hilarious and just super real, and I love it. So keep up the good work, Amanda. Anyhow, so she said that she tried the pattern and she was able to turn the heel and that it worked and it looked perfect. So that just made me really, really happy because I get super excited about socks. So, okay, sorry guys, so many words, so many things to say. Yeah, so anyhow, so I finished one of those socks, and then I like started on the next one. So yeah, I just finished the cuff on this guy and am, you know, just getting down into the body of it. I've had a lot of projects that I've been excited about lately, and other things that were like a little higher on the priority list. So hopefully I can get back to this really soon. But while we're on the topic of socks, I wanted to chat a little more about them. So like I said, I don't remember what the brand name was on this. Laurel, text me. Do you remember what it was? Laurel, my sweet friend over at Alabaster and Pearl, was the one who sent me this yarn, and I love it. Yeah, but I am sure that it was a blend. This isn't like 100% wool or anything, which I am a huge fan of for socks. My favorite sock yarn that I've used so far has been Sprout sock from my friend Lindsay over at the Fiber Seed. Yeah, so she makes beautiful colorways, and this has been such a great, this was my first time recently, I guess. This was the yarn that I used when I first got back into knitting socks recently. And so I just wanted to show you, these are socks. Clearly I talk about how much I love making socks, and I only actually have like 2 pairs that I've actually finished in the last year. But yeah, I've had a lot of other projects that I've been finishing too, so yeah, you know, you just do what you can do. Anyhow, so yeah, I love this yarn. It's wonderful. It's I looked it up because I had to remind myself, but it's, I guess, 90% like washable merino and then 10% nylon, which I'm a really big fan of because I feel like it gives it like that extra toughness. And so these socks, I just wanted to show you because they have held up so well. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like people get really nervous about making socks sometimes because it's like, oh, I'm gonna put in hours of work, which, like, yeah, it is hours of work. Socks are a labor of love. But I think I've heard people, you know, say they were nervous because you put in so much work and then you start wearing them, and then, I mean, feet really, you know, kind of, socks take a beating. It's, they wear out. So it's like the idea of putting so much effort into something that's just gonna wear out and get holes in it really soon, you know, like, seems like a poor it seems like a poor choice. But you guys, I just wanted to show you, like, so this is with the Fiber Seed Sprout yarn. I have been wearing these 2 pairs of socks for a year, and I have been wearing them like a ton. Like, I wear each of these at least once a week, I would say, on average. Maybe, I mean, you know, I don't really keep track of it that much, but I wear them all the time because I love them. And like I mentioned, these are the only 2 like pairs of handmade socks that I have finished recently, and I'm obsessed with them, so I wear them all the time. I throw these in the washing machine. They've actually even gone through the dryer a few times. My husband accidentally threw a pair in the dryer, and I may have kind of panicked a little bit the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what if they just shrink up? And yeah, anyhow. yeah, I had a moment of panic for sure. They were totally fine. So that was great. I'm guessing that's, I think it's because it's like a washable, I'm not sure if that would be technically considered superwash. Don't do that with just like your regular wool socks. But so this is washable merino. And yeah, anyhow, so these have both like gone through the wash, gone through the dryer like a million times, and they're holding up like super well. Like this, I mean, it looks like it's been worn a lot now, obviously, but they, like, there are no holes or anything. Anyhow, so, wow, that was a lot of talk about, like, socks that I wear. Sorry, that's weird. Anyhow, yeah, but so if you need some great sock yarn, definitely recommend Lindsay's yarn. It's awesome. And yeah, it holds up for forever. So yeah, there's that. Okay, moving on. Oh my gosh. Next, I did want to say that I just published, that I just finally released the video on the video tutorial of how to make the Astoria cowl. I know several people had really sweetly asked about the pattern, and I've been trying to get it out for like, embarrassingly long, but it wasn't really top priority. So it finally is out. Yeah, so I showed you how to make I did one with loops and threads, cozy wool, and then I did one with the one of my favorite yarns, Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. Yeah, so it's just kind of like a fun, super bulky cowl with like oversized buttons, and it's really fun. So if you're looking for like a fast comfort food project with like an easy tutorial on buttonholes, that's out there. Okay, moving on. Next up, you guys, if you watch, okay, I'm very excited about this. If you watched my episode with, or the episode of the podcast with Jessica, and you saw us get super excited over these guys, Furls crochet hooks. Okay, so as you guys know, if you have like followed along with my feed or story for a while, I'm definitely a knitter. Yeah, so I'm definitely a knitter. I've been knitting since I think I started when I was like 12. So it feels very comfortable, easy at this point, and is like that's like my comfort zone. I love it. But I've had like a life goal for quite a while of learning to crochet. I had tried it a few years ago, and I gave up because it felt too hard. I was trying, I don't remember, it was some kind of, I don't know, a cheap little crochet hook that was just like one of the basic straight hooks, which probably you guys who are like good at crochet are like, oh yeah, that's fine, I use that all the time. I couldn't, it was not working. And I got really frustrated. It just felt, yeah, it was just like frustrating and felt too hard. And I was like, I'm just gonna go back to knitting. I know I can do that. And I guess maybe I was just kind of figuring like, seems like for some people like knitting just seems to make sense to their brain better. And for other people, crochet seems to make sense to their brain better. And I guess I'm just one of those knitting brain people. I'm not kidding, guys. This has totally been a game changer. I have been so excited. Like I was like, okay, I have these gorgeous crochet hooks now. I'm gonna give it another try. I'm super excited because one thing is they're just so beautiful that it feels really, I feel like really inspired to try to make something pretty, because this is already, I don't know, when you have gorgeous tools, it's very inspiring. Okay, so if you want all the details on like what makes these like technically so wonderful, go back and watch the podcast with Jessica because she has all the details. Or go and look at the Furls Crochet website because they have all the details there too, obviously. But they're just like designed in such a way with like the specific shape of like the point of the hook, the way that the neck of it works to like keep your tension just right, and then even like the way it's shaped so that it sits in your hand. It's super comfortable, and you guys, I crocheted something. I'm really excited, and it was really fun. Like, I've been like having it's hard to stop. It's kind of addicting. I don't know, it's just been like really fun. I feel like it's been so empowering, and yeah, so I'm like, I want to crochet all the things now. So I'll just show you a little sample of a couple of things that I crocheted. I have like something somewhere. There's like my very first piece that I tried is like over there somewhere in a pile, and so I'm not gonna grab that. But I was really excited to try the shell stitch. My friend Mindy from Coffee and Blankets more on that later. She has this gorgeous tutorial about how to make like a shell stitch crochet blanket. And so I went and watched her YouTube tutorial on how to do that. If you need a good tutorial, like go watch Mindy's. It's she's Mindy Meyer on, if you search Mindy Meyer on YouTube, it should come up. Great tutorial. And you guys, I totally crocheted this. And for those of you who like are like super experienced crocheters, yeah, I don't know, this might look like a little like sloppy, or you know, like not, this might look like not super impressive, but for me this was huge. Like I said, I tried it before. I like chained a little bit. I tried doing like a single crochet for a little bit, and it looked like objectively looked terrible. Let's just be honest. And it was super frustrating, and I was like, this is not fun. I'm not finding like any joy in this. And so I just gave up. This, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. These crochet hooks have totally been a game changer for me. So I don't know what it is, something about the crazy design. And so I've been trying this and I've been crocheting. So anyhow, so I did that, and then I pulled out this super fun pink yarn and I did shell stitch with that. Are you focusing, camera? Okay, yeah, so that's been fun. And then had a sick day at home last week and I was like, I just want to crochet something that will be fun. And so pulled out the oh yeah, this was with the, oh yeah, so and this was with the candy shop hook, this guy, which honestly so far is my favorite. This would, and it's not just because it's like beautiful and pink and shiny and has this like crazy detailing. I think it feels like it's kind of, I don't know, maybe kind of in the middle weight size. And so it just has felt, I don't know, really comfortable for me. I really liked it. So I was really excited to try the Odyssey hook. So I used, okay, this one, this like beautiful purple, focus. It's like beautiful purple sparkly one. Yeah, so I totally like crocheted this and it was so fun. And yeah, again, I'm sure like for those of you who have been like crocheting for years, you're like, yeah, like that's great, like it's, you know, pretty basic, but it was so exciting and it's just been like really fun and empowering, and I don't know, it's like, I feel like it's like opened up a whole new world for me. And so yeah, thanks again so much, Furls Crochet, like seriously, no joke, it's been a game changer, and I'm super excited because this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and somehow, I don't know, these hooks are just like super well designed, and I'm able to, I mean, it clicked. So I'm able to, yeah, I'm able to figure it out, and I've been crocheting and it's so fun. Okay. Sorry, I'm like really enthusiastic about this, obviously. Okay, while we're still talking about crochet, my friend Mindy, I'm so, Mindy, thank you so much. So I sent her a message telling her how excited I was, like between like the Furls Crochet hook and her wonderful tutorial. I was like, I did this like beautiful shell stitch thing and I'm super excited. And so she sent me yarn. How beautiful is this? Okay, so she has her own, has her own yarn line, which is super cool. I mean, fancy. So look how gorgeous and fluffy this stuff is. It's all acrylic, I believe. Is that right, Mindy? I looked it up and then now it's been a couple weeks. Anyhow, so it's like completely vegan stuff if that's something that you're worried about. And yeah, so it's just like this thick, chunky, dreamy, squishy hank of yarn. And anyhow, so she sent me enough to crochet a blanket with, and I'm so excited. I mean, like I get, I'm a pretty enthusiastic person, so I get excited. I get excited about stuff pretty easily. Yeah, but this is so like, oh my gosh, it's so soft, it's so squishy, and I'm just like, seriously, if you haven't seen her blankets, go look at them and then you'll get what I'm talking about. Like, I'm so excited to make my own. Anyhow, yeah, so I'm gonna crochet a blanket. It's a whole new world. So yeah, so that's that. Okay. Moving on for now. So something that I thought it would be fun to talk about today, I was talking with my dear sweet friend Jewel over at North Knits. If you guys don't follow her, you should, because she's just the sweetest person ever, number one. We've become friends through Instagram, which has been so fun. We like talk on the phone sometimes, and she's just such a genuinely wonderful person and just super talented. She is like a huge driving force behind our Make Her Life, and yeah, just uber talented. Anyhow, we were talking the other day about doing it all, which neither of us do, because nobody can. Anyhow, I was chatting with her. She was giving me some like amazing advice. I've just recently switched over to editing my videos with Adobe. Why does this feel so hard to say? Adobe Premiere Pro. There, I did it. Okay, up to this point, I've been using iMovie, which has been great, but I was feeling like some of the limitations there and wanted to be able to switch over to something that had a few more options. This has a million more options. It was super challenging to figure out how to use, but I was finally able to make the switch. Jessica's podcast was the first one that I edited with that, and it was so fun. I'm starting to kind of like nerd out a little bit about computer stuff. My husband has recently learned how to build computers, and it's actually pretty cool. I still don't understand a lot of the technical stuff, but am starting to understand enough that I can like get excited about it and understand a few of the little differences. Anyhow, he just like worked on putting together a new computer for me. Oh, this is just a rabbit trail, but I'm just gonna tell you anyway. I'll get back to this other topic. Yeah, anyhow, so I've been using a MacBook Air for all of my video editing. Didn't really realize that laptops just are not really geared, like not really like the best setup for video editing. We're like definitely Apple people. We love like Apple products and stuff, but when I switched to getting like the fancier camera, so now I have like more high-res footage, and then my videos have been getting longer, and it has really, I feel like, kind of stretched it to its like max capacity. And it's been like, not because it like isn't a good computer or anything, like I've loved it. It's been a workhorse, and it's been like, it's really hard like to let it go because I'm selling it and then just got this new computer. And you guys, who else gets like attached to their laptops? I was just like, I want to like hug it. I'm like, we've been through so much together, laptop. I don't know, it was hard to let it go. Anyhow, and also, like I said, I love Apple products, and I'm switching to a PC, and that feels weird, but this is like going to be such a better setup for video editing specifically, which is what I mainly do on my computer. So I think it's going to be great. Yeah. If you guys are interested in that at all or curious, I don't know, I know usually like I feel like yarn and then like computers aren't like a real clear crossover, but we need technology these days, and I feel like, yeah, I don't know, it's like helpful to have that info. That isn't something that I'm super passionate about, just like digging deep into and like learning how computers work super well, but it's been really nice that my husband is really interested in that, and so he's been finding out all this fantastic information and then was able to like figure out how to build it, like how to put together a computer that like works super, super well for video editing. So, okay, anyhow, so yeah, I'm so excited to start using this and switching over to a PC for now. Anyhow, yeah, so I know that isn't always something, I know that yarn and computers don't always overlap there, but if that is something that you guys like are also kind of interested in, or maybe like me, more nearly interested in like, how can I get the best tool like that will be like the best bang for my buck? Let me know. Maybe we should have my husband come and like guest on a podcast and we can talk about building computers or something. Anyhow, moving back to where we started. Yeah, so Jewel and I were talking about, I feel like it's so, I think it's so easy to hear about what someone else is doing and to just kind of assume that they're doing it all. You know, why is it that we tend to, I feel like we tend to look at other people and just assume that they're probably doing like so well, or maybe being so much more productive than we are, like somehow they figured out how to do it all. Yeah, anyhow, so we were chatting about that a little bit, and that's something that's just really on my heart, because I think we tend to be have so much pressure, I think especially as women, from ourselves internally, and then from the rest of society right now, just kind of pushing that we should somehow be able to do it all. Like, you should be able to have like a huge career and do all that. You should also be able to be like the complete, like whether it's, if you're a mom, there I think there's even more pressure, just like that your entire home life should be perfect and you should just be nailing that. your career. You should be hugely successful. Yeah, I think we're kind of, I'm not sure if it's so much like the external expectations or also our internal expectations that we just feel like we should be able to do everything. And so Jewel and I were kind of talking about that, like, what does that look like for you? And I was like, for me, like, I straight up, I just don't do everything because I really think that you can't, you know? Also, I'm not one of those super type A people. I love like coming up with ideas, content creation. I love all that, and I love like being creative and being productive and everything, but I'm not, I can't keep up the pace. I just can't. I'm so impressed by some of the like more type A people out there who can be like really creative and come up with stuff and just keep up a crazy pace of putting out stuff. I've really learned, for me, I simply can't do that. And so there have been times that I've tried where I'm like, I really should be able to do like all of these things on my list over here on like from this area of my life, all the things on the list from this area of my life, like because I feel like we have so many different spheres. Like I've got my home life where I need to like, it's really crucial to me that I keep my close relationships, that I'm intentional about those. Specifically, you know, like making sure like my husband and I have time, that we are being intentional about our relationship. Yeah, making sure that things are like good and we're feeling on the same page and close. And then I've got my work life. I have a day job as an assistant librarian. I have that I have to focus on. And then I've got also this side business of Peony and Time. And there's, you know, a lot of, I think maybe more internal pressure for me there, because I can see I have all these goals and ideas in my mind of like what I want to do with the business, like where I want to take it, content that I would like to put out. And I'm definitely a perfectionist, and I can't do everything to the extent that I want to be able to do that. Or I can't do everything as perfectly as I want to be able to do that. And sometimes that gets really discouraging. And so I think this year has been, as I've been expanding things, like I've been doing more hours at work, at my day job. I've been doing a lot more hours and trying to pump out a lot more content with Peony and Time. And it's really been, I feel like, a time that I've learned like how can I handle this and balance this and make it work, because like I said, I'm not someone that's like super type A and like driven in a way where I can just be productive all the time and be okay. Sometimes I've had moments where I will be like super driven and be feeling like, I'm like, is this what type A people feel like? Like I've just been doing it amazing, just nailing it all day. I've been getting this done. Like my to-do list is just looking fantastic. I can keep that up for a little while. And then after like kind of like a sadly short amount of time, like maybe a couple weeks, I usually just get sick. Like I'll get a bad cold or something where my body's like, you can't keep up with this. Like I know you've been feeling tired, and ignoring it. And then that really, then I'm like, well, I really shot myself in the foot there, because now I'm sick and I'm gonna have to take either several days to catch up with this. Or what can also happen is I just get so exhausted to the point where I'm kind of useless. Like I can't come up with creative stuff. Like maybe I'll sit down and try to film, and my brain is not connecting with my mouth, and then I'm like, I've been sitting here and trying to like come up with some good content because I know I have stuff to talk about, and I have these ideas of like content that I want to put out there, but nothing, like I'm like, but this is all garbage. Like everything that I filmed today was just useless. And that, like, if I am not well rested and feeling like I've got like a decent sense of balance in my life, my creativity totally goes out the window. Like it just, yeah, it's super frustrating. And I'm like, why can't I do everything? Anyhow, but so I feel like maybe the last few years I've been slowly learning this. And then I feel like over this last year, I've really been maybe like the rubber's been put to the road, because I have so many things that I feel like I want to be juggling right now. And so for me, it's been a lot of intentional decisions and having to be organized. I'm not naturally an organized person, and I've been discovering that I actually feel so much more freedom in being organized. It's weird, but fantastic. My husband, Ryan, is so much better at being organized than I am, and he's good at like big picture things, and he's been so helpful. Like we sit down together and have like a business meeting once a week, and it's so helpful for me because we'll sit down and break down like our goals, like write down the goal list that we have. So we'll talk about like, okay, what are our goals? Like whether like with life or like for me, like specifically, like I'm talking about like with Peony and Time, like where do I want it to be in 5 or 10 years? Okay, where do I want it to be in 1 year? What are my goals for like a year from now? So what does that look like for this week? And then what does that look like just for each day? So we'll like make a plan, like organize a plan for each week. And break it down so that I know like the 2 things that I have to do today in order to keep me on track for the goal for the year. Because I feel like for me, what I tend to do is like I have these exciting like ideas and plans and goals, but like Rome wasn't built in a day. And so they're just like little steps you have to do to keep you on track. And so I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, well, just feeling the pressure of this whole huge goal. I'm like, well, I guess I didn't, you know, I didn't I didn't accomplish this like this year's amount of goal today, so I'm feeling like a little stuck or like I'm not sure where to go. Anyhow, so instead of feeling that pressure all the time, breaking it down into like monthly and daily like little mini goals, like just like bite-sized pieces, has been revolutionary for me. So instead of feeling like, yeah, like I said, the weight of this whole thing, I'm like, what are the 2 things that I have to do today for my, like for Peony and Time? And then I do those 2 things. And then I also have to go to work, you know, and then like we make dinner and at some point we had grocery shop, you know, but knowing that like as long as I do those 2 things that I had to do today, I'm on track for my year's goal. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's been like a revelation for me. It's so much less stressful because otherwise I would just feel like this constant pressure of just being like, there's always, I know there's something else in the back of my mind that I need to get done. But now I'm like, oh no, like that's okay. I had that scheduled for Wednesday, that task, you know? So that's been awesome. Anyhow, and also, I really have, like, I think you can only have, like, what do they say? Like, you can only, like, pick 3 things, like, in those, like, big, busy seasons of life. And honestly, probably for, maybe for, like, all of life in order to really help keep your sanity. But yeah, so for me, like, my relationship with my husband, you know, we, yeah, that's, like, top priority for us. And then, I gotta go to work, gotta get that money and pay those bills. Also, it is really nice because I do actually love I love working at my library. It's just the best day job I've ever had. It's awesome. And then doing Peony and Time is also really important to me, and I'm really excited about like my plans for it this year. But so those are kind of like my 3 things. And so getting things done for me this last year has meant saying no to a lot of things. And sometimes it makes me sad because I know that I am like actually missing out on some things. But when I've tried to do like everything 100%, nothing is 100%. Like I'll end up, you know, trying to do like I'll just squeeze in one more, like a social engagement or something. And then I'll go to that social event and just be feeling really stressed and frustrated. And then I'm like not super fun to hang out with, you know? I'm just like, I'm stressed and kind of cranky. Anyhow, so just not like giving myself the permission to say no, yeah, has been like really, there's been like a lot of freedom in that. And it still is a struggle, you guys, honestly. But yeah, so I have I have wonderful friends and I have like wonderful family, and sometimes I don't get to hang out with them as much as I would like. I am looking forward to, my long-term goal is to be able to make Peony and Time and like especially the video aspect of it, like that's really, really something that I love and I'm really passionate about. I'm hoping that eventually that can be like my full-time job. And I'm looking forward to, like, I'm hoping that also when that is the full-time job and I'm not working like, cause it definitely feels like 2 jobs right now. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours. I love it, but it's a lot of hours, and it's meant, yeah, saying no to a lot of things. So yeah, I still try to be intentional about, making time, whether it's like once a month, I feel like that probably happens pretty frequently, to see like go hang out and have like a girl day with my best friend, or go make sure that I have time to like go have like a coffee date with my dad, or like go have like a knitting date with my sister or something. And then also I'm an introvert, so like I have to have that time where I am just alone. I don't have the pressure of like talking to anyone else, and I don't feel like I have anything that I have to be productively doing at the time. And that helps me just feel like so much more balanced, and that's how I get recharged. Like I need that alone time where I can just kind of be and don't feel like those outside pressures, and then I can kind of just like get balanced in my mind and really recharged, and then like just feel like a new woman afterwards. It's awesome. But so I feel like every season is different, and so I guess what I was trying to say is that I'm hoping that eventually, like hopefully when I'm able to do like Peony and Time full time and I'm not feeling like I'm working 2 jobs at once, I'll be able to have a little more room in my life for like having people over and hanging out and having those social times. Right now, my life has to be a little bit slim on those things. And that does make me sad, but like I said, I really think there are those seasons for things. And so right now, it's kind of a season of working 2 jobs. And that feels like a lot sometimes, but it's totally worth it to me in the hopes that I'll be able to make Peony and Time be like my full-time gig eventually. Anyhow, so basically what I'm trying to say is none of us are doing it all. You kind of just really have to pick and choose, otherwise like you can't do everything at 100%. And finding ways to like pick and choose what I was going to say yes and what I was going to say no to, and finding a good organizational system and having a husband who's really good at helping me stay organized has been just a total game changer over this last year. And I'm still not as good at it as I want to be. Like I'm like, I need to get more Instagram photos up. Like I let too like long of a stretch of time go between doing those things. But you know, like it's all a work in progress, and I can tell that for myself, I'm feeling so much more like balanced and organized and better at getting stuff out than I was at this time last year. So anyhow, yeah. So let me know, comment below, let me know your thoughts or your processes for dealing with like choosing priorities, getting stuff done, being productive. Are you a type A person? Are you more of a type B person like me who, you know, can be productive but really needs those introvert moments where you just, yeah, have to stop and recharge and can't be going at like 1000% all the time? Anyhow, okay, great. So moving on. This is getting kind of lengthy, so we're just gonna chat about a couple more things that I'm really excited about before I let you go. Okay, so one thing unrelated to knitting and yarn, but still related to being crafty. All right, so something fun. A gal who is a really talented letterer and graphic designer who's local-ish to me in the Spokane area sent me a lettering kit I'm really excited about. Like a cute little card in there, and then like a whole kit with like some templates. I honestly haven't had time to like sit down and really get into it yet, but I'm really excited because lettering has been on my list of life goals, because to be honest, I do not have great handwriting. It's not good, you guys. Anyhow, so that's something that I've not felt super confident about, and so it's been on my list of to-dos to like learn how to get better about that and do some practice and not be embarrassed about my handwriting. So, okay. So thank you, Millie. I'm really excited to try this, and yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes. If it can help me, then it can help anyone. Another thing really excited about, my sweet friend Ashley over at Mountain Belle Designs. Hey, Ashley. Sent me this beautiful necklace. I don't know if you can see here. Maybe I'll take a picture and insert it so you can see it a little bit better. It's so beautiful. She asked me if I'd be interested in having her send me a piece so I could take like some photos, try it out and stuff. And yeah, I am obsessed with this necklace. I really love it. So thank you so much, Ashley. And I think maybe we're gonna work out like a coupon code. So if you guys want to get your own, I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, you should do that. Okay, back to yarn stuff. And as our final wrap up, you guys, Joann's had a sale. And I didn't even try to use self-control. So one thing that I'm excited about is I got this Fast Track. Oh, it's just called Fast Track. I was like seeing all those letters there, but it's just different translations. From yarn from Lion Brand. It's like that tape yarn where it's actually like already, it's like fabric. So I've been seeing people, I think, make crochet basket. Oh yeah, like this. Little focus there. Crochet type focus. Baskets and stuff with these things. And so now that I can crochet, I've been really excited to go ahead and try making one. So you guys, everything was 40% off. So, which was just very exciting. So yeah, I'm really excited to try my hand at a crochet basket. Other things I'm excited about is, I forgot that Joann's now has Wool & the Gang products like in store. I've never, I've been wanting to try Wool & the Gang products for a while. I've never actually seen them in real life. Turns out they're lovely. Which obviously, I mean, their stuff is beautiful. Yeah, it's really soft and interesting too. Like, yeah, so it's like 70% wool, 30% acrylic. Yeah, I haven't knit anything with their yarn or their kits or anything, so I'm excited to try this. I don't know yet what I'm gonna make, but I love this color. It's really soft and squishy. If you have any brilliant ideas for 2 skeins of this, like, yeah, this like chunky stuff from Wool & the Gang, let me know. And then there's this. So I may have gone a little overboard. No, it was just the right amount. So this stuff, it's buttercream, buttercream thick and thin. See if that'll focus there. Yeah, you guys, look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so squishy. I saw some of this on one side. They had like a lovely mocha kind of color, which I am a big fan of, but they didn't have quite enough to do like a sweater amount, which clearly, of course, is what I wanted to do. So, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll make something else with it. So I grabbed it and then I went around to the other side and saw this gorgeous like cream with like kind of a soft medium gray and like a little hint of like rose color. And I'm kind of obsessed with those colors right now. It's almost maybe like a really light raspberry, between a raspberry and a rose. Anyhow, it's so pretty. And I just saw it and like died inside. So I had to get it. Also, I've been really excited to try this. I know I've been seeing like We Are Knitters has their thick and thin yarn that I had in the past. I've not been a fan of thick and thin yarn. I thought it looked kind of just funky. I wasn't super in love with the look. But now so I didn't even really bother trying it very much. But I've been seeing these pictures that people have been posting of it and I'm a fan now. I love it. So I've been excited I've been wanting to get my hands on some to try it. So I'm really excited to try this. So I want to do a sweater out of this. So yeah, I got like 7 skeins. So that should hopefully definitely be enough. If you know of any patterns for just like a cute basic sweater with this, let me know. Otherwise, I'll probably just see if I can like freestyle something. So yeah, I'll be posting pictures of that. Very excited. It's just so happy. Okay, yeah, well, I think that's about it. I feel like maybe there are more things on my list of things to chat about on this podcast, but I feel like I probably chatted on for long enough. So thanks so much for hanging out for a little while. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, you just had a good cup of coffee and a cozy spot in a chair. So yeah, thanks so much for hanging out and I'll see you next time. Oh, big exciting though. Next episode of the podcast, episode number 4, is an interview with Vincent from Not Bad. I got to interview him at the same time that when I went down to see Jessica in Salem, and oh my gosh, you guys, it was such a fun time visiting with him. He's just got an amazing story, and then just some really great things to share. Really, really great practical advice. He talks about a social media that he's discovered recently and wishes he'd been doing from the beginning because it's like so super powerful. Anyhow, so check back with that, and yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.